Yeah. So I think the first part would be missed. Then I think I'll just repeat. Doesn't matter. It's not much anyway. I'll just repeat it for the benefit of all. So excuse me for the lapse. Now, other day, yesterday I stopped actually stopping recording was not done. So I had to edit that video and it has to come today to you all. It had to come to you. It will come tonight, today. So anyway, I had to start it. So it is Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga is regarding meditation. It's paying respectful obeisances to our deities, Shri Radha Govinda. We start our session today, offering our respects to our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and with the blessings of our president, temple president, His Grace Ramanishta Das, we start the session. This is Dhyana Yoga. And you have answered me already the different types of yogas you have studied from chapter 3. Now we go to the first question of the actually session. What is yoga? Yoga means connecting to God. Okay. Now the different types of yogas you have heard till now, you all gave me the answers. Of course, the recording was not on, so it has not been recorded, but then you have given me the answers. The Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Okay. Now, the first shloka, which dealing in this chapter is Yadahi Nendriyartheshu na karmasva anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga arudas tadocchate. So here, Nendriyartheshu, see actually a person who has one over the senses, a person is said to be elevated in yoga when having renounced all material desires. He has no desire at all, absolutely no desires. He neither acts for sense gratification. He doesn't act for his own self to please his senses. At the same time, nor does he engage in fruitive actions. He doesn't do any karma, which is going to give him fruits. So it's absolutely beyond all expectations. That means, you see, when he has no desire in material things, material actually fruits, and he is actually has controlled the senses, then what else does he have in mind? Nothing but the Lord, the Almighty. So he's fixed in devotion. So he is called a yogi. That's the first shloka. Here the next question is Arjuna wanted to know how to control the mind. As I told you, it's not a question that Arjuna wanted to know. Arjuna knew everything how to do, and he was a very enlightened person. But then for us, for our sake, he was asking these questions to benefit us actually. So what is mind? What does mind do actually? It thinks, it wills, and it feels. So all the thinking process and the willing, your determinations and all that, and the feeling part, all are done by at the stage of the mind. So wants to know how to control the mind. That's a big problem these days. How to control the mind? We say, don't get distracted when you're doing chanting, or do your devotion with absolute concentration. But how to do it is a problem. How to control the mind? It's a monkey mind. Keeps on jumping from branch to branch, and from thought to thought. Today you're here, tomorrow you're in America. Why tomorrow? The next moment you may be in America. If someone is there very close to you, you are there. And the next moment you come here, go to a friend's house, go to so many things which are in your mind, you're thinking about. So that's how the mind is. But that can't happen in devotion. In devotion, you have to control the mind. But again, they have made it quite easy for us in the chanting of the Mahamantra. They say that what you say by the mouth, your ear should hear it, and you should go to the heart. Fortunately, little bit flexibility is given, but still you can't take undue liberty of the flexibility given to us. We have to concentrate on something related to Almighty or some good thoughts. So what I made it a little bit flexible as, they actually have nice thoughts, pleasant thoughts. Don't think ill, don't think bad of a person. Don't think of anything wicked when you're doing japa. Even otherwise, as a devotee, you should never think of any evil at all. Should be always thinking good. So if that is there, then I think it's not bad. But the best is to concentrate entirely on the Almighty. Okay. So one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Okay. Now, when is the mind a friend? Can you tell me? When is your mind your friend? Anyone?
When your thoughts are positive, we could say.
When your thoughts are positive, yes.
When it's under our control,
listens to us.
Listens to us. When you say something, and whatever you say, the mind is able to help you. I want to go to Vrindavan Gardens right now. The mind should take me there. I mean, and I'm very happy about it.
We can control the mind.
You should control the mind. You should control the mind. But how to control it? See, mind, say
We
everything
are
else
in
can-
Krishna consciousness.
in Krishna, that's the ultimate devotional drug. That's the ultimate actually remedy. But then when is the mind your enemy?
Mataji,
Ah,
when
yeah.
there is no thought called positive or negative, mind does play games and it does deviate us from doing any of the devotional services.
Yeah.
But we have to understand that it is not our mind which is doing it. It is only Krishna's playtime and pastime. He is trying to play the game and he is also trying to test our bhakti. So we have to remember it and train it to come back to the original focus.
Even Krishna is doing through your mind. See, whatever Krishna is, see, Krishna makes people instrumental, makes senses instrumental, and he makes you commit a crime. For instance, when is your mind your enemy? When it doesn't listen to you, just as someone told me, when it listens, it's actually your friend. Doesn't listen to you. For a very, very easy example to understand, I'll tell you. We should chant 16 rounds a day, let us say, okay? But the mind doesn't cooperate. It doesn't allow you to see your body wants, you're all, I mean, you want to do it, but then your mind says, no, you're not able to, trust distracts us. Then our mind is enemy. So when the body doesn't, if the mind listens to what I'm feeling, see, feeling and doing is different. I feel I should do the chants round, the rounds now, okay? But the mind doesn't cooperate with me. Then what happens? Can I do it? I'm prepared to do it. But then mind gets distracted, goes to off some other place, to some other friend, to some other relative, and doesn't allow me to do my chanting. So when it doesn't listen, becomes the enemy. So mind can be, so that you have to control. You should always see that the mind is actually your friend, not your enemy. If it is enemy, you can't progress in devotional service at all. You just can't do it. So here, this is what Bhagavad Gita 6.5 says. See, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul as well as his enemy. Okay. Now here, that is 6. Bandhur atmatmanas tasya enatmaiva atmana jita anatmanas shatrutve varte atmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind should see, the mind should not be your master. You should be the master of the mind. That's actually a tug of war between the mind and yourself. Okay. Now the self should be the master of the mind. If the mind starts mastering you, then you go away. Okay. So one who has conquered the mind is the best of the friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Okay. Just what you gave the answers. You said when it listens to us, it's our friend. Doesn't listen to us, it's our enemy. Okay. So you should not allow it to dominate or lord over us. We have to control it. Ultimately, the message is you have to control the mind. So this is how, we have to, we have to have means of doing it. Each one has his own way, determination, and ultimately, it's practice. It's practice. It's not overnight, endeavor in overnight, you're going to get success. Over time, you will get it. Okay. Don't lose hopes. A day will definitely come when you will be winning the senses. Now, I'm going to show a few images now. We said yoga. Yoga is connecting to God. All these things we see in the mundane life. Is this yoga? And is this yoga? A person has actually dug his head under the sand and he's actually he's folding his hands for money. Now, can you call this yoga? Okay. It's only sort of physical torture, not yoga. Here, a lady is, doing some circus with a lamb on her back. Is that yoga? And is this yoga? They're all doing it for some physical fitness. Okay. We see so many here. See, yoga for mental health, yoga for pregnancy, for everything, chair yoga. And there is one person actually sitting in an antil and praying Almighty and doing penance. Is that yoga? Is this yoga? The questions are, is this really yoga? What is really yoga? Okay. So many images are given here, all different types of images. Now, are they, see, yoga has become a business now, actually. People are making cash out of it. So real yoga is not being actually conveyed to the masses. Now, this is actually our, the father not father, actually, the guru of our Srila Prabhupada. It is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. Okay. Now he said, Jitatmana Prashantasya Paramatma Samahitaha Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tatha Manapa Manayo. Who is a yogi? For one who has conquered the mind, he is actually Jitatmanaha. He has conquered the mind. Prashantasya, always pleasant. Okay. Paramatma Samahitaha. The super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. Sitoshna Dukkeshu. That is cold, heat and cold. They're actually the same. It treats them alike. Okay? That is winter and summer are alike for him. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, tatha manapa manayoho. That is, honor and dishonor are the same. He is a yogi. He is actually connected to Almighty. All those things, what we saw earlier, they're only circuses, they're only physical exercises. They're not actually yoga. But they go under the black banner of yoga. Yoga being done here. Different types of yogas are actually, it's a commercial business now. So that is not really what is yoga. What is Ashtanga yoga? Ashtanga, 8-folded old yoga. And this is what we see here. It includes yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga. Now, what are these? Each of these. Yama is abstinences. The don'ts. What you should not do. That all those things are there, including, abstaining from all the unwanted vices. Like intoxication, and then so many things, all what vices. You can have a larger bracket, all the vices, all the don'ts in the life. Not speaking lies, speaking truth is niyama, and then speaking lies should not be entertained or encouraged. And then wicked, having an evil mind, thinking bad of other people, all those are actually not good at all for our spiritual progress. Niyama, observances. What should you do? What are the niyamas? Niyamas are the rules. What should you follow? Asana. These are yogic postures. There are different asanas. Then the Dhanurasana. Then, so those who are into yoga know how many asanas are there. Now actually there is Bhujangasana. So many asanas are there. Okay. So that is meant for physical fitness. This one. Pranayama, breath control. Even this, there are so many varieties of pranayamas. There is Vastraki, there is Chitkari, there are so many, And actually you have breathing control, Anuloma, Viloma, so many are there. Controlling the breath, basically. Pratyahara, withdrawal of senses. That is, you're controlling your senses. Don't allow the senses to go their way. That's through the mind. Mind is the reins. I showed you a picture in the earlier classes. There's a horseman, and there are reins in his hand, and he's controlling the horses. The reins are compared to the mind. So with the help of the mind, you have to control all the, withdraw the senses. Dharana is concentration. For this, different techniques are used. Different people use different techniques. Now, in the candle can be used, or you can have any, watching the candle flame is one of the methods. So you have to, on the whole, focusing, concentration. You have to concentrate. Then dhyana is meditation, you all know. And samadhi is absorption. You get involved in the whole process. That is actually Ashtanga yoga. But can this be done in the present age? See, Arjuna himself says he surrenders. Krishna, I can't do this. It's too much. I can't do this. It's, sitting in one place, sitting straight, direct, the neck straight and all that, and then controlling the senses, going to a secluded place somewhere, and then sitting on the kusha grass, like slightly elevated, not very low, and then sitting on a deer skin. And so it's all, he says it's very difficult for me. When Arjuna says it is so difficult, and obviously for a common man, it's not easy. I cannot say impossible. Nothing is impossible for man. But then it is not, it is easier said than done. So this is actually yama. It is yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sita ekaki yata chittatma nirashir aparigraha. A transcendentalist, he's sitting here, see this man is sitting here, should always engage his body and mind. Yogi yunjita satatam, always. Yunjita, engage, okay? Mind and self in relation with the Supreme. That's important. Atmanam. Okay? He should live alone in a secluded place. Ekaki yatata chittatma. He should live in a secluded place. Always carefully control his mind. Okay? He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. That is actually how these are actually, they come into yamas. Okay? So this is actually a yogi who's sitting straight. Samam kayo shiror grivam dharayam achalam sthiraha sampreksha nasikagram tvam swam dishas लोकयन प्रशांतात्मा विगताभिर ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः मन संयम मच्चित्तो युक्त आसीत मत्परः. One should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So here actually a lot of abstinences are there, and you have to be very careful about your daily practices. You have to be you have to completely abstain. That's one thing. And that's what is told here. Now here, this is a Vishaya, this is actually in the second chapter it has come. Vishaya Vinivartante, how to do it actually. See, how can we do it? So always, see, when you are given something, a better choice, you know, you have a better choice. If you choose the better one, automatically the less, the less better one or the ordinary one automatically vanishes. So when you always choose for a better taste in life, you have to develop, tastes are developed, can be developed by you. It's your determination, your focus, okay, your conviction. With that, if you can develop better tastes, better options, then automatically the unwanted ones, the not so good ones will automatically vanish away. So Vishaya Vinivartante Nira Harasya Dehinaha Rasavarjam Raso Apyasya Param Drishtva Nivartate. A devotee of the Lord automatically refrains from indulging in mundane sense gratification. A devotee of the Lord, only he can. So when you say devotee, who becomes a devotee? After offering devotional service, either through service or through chanting or everything that is what is spiritual. When he's doing it, becomes a devotee. Once you get the title of a devotee, you automatically your indulgence into all these things will stop. Okay, because of superior taste, you develop better tastes. You know, you don't have the ordinary taste. You won't have a taste for a serial in the TV which is running for a continuous serial running for years together. If you are given the choice of a wonderful Hindustani concert, or say a wonderful discourse by some great person who has come to the city, you should prefer that. See, and that you have to develop it. See, between junk food and ordinary food, you know, I mean, good food, all our hands and all our mind will go towards junk food only, because it gives us temporary satisfaction. It only satisfies your tongue. Okay. Now, if you go to satisfy the tongue, in the long run, you're going to fall sick. So, what is better? Sattvic food. Good food is definitely better, but that is not very palatable. It's actually cooked according to certain rules and regulations. It may not be tasty, but what is good for health you have to think about. So you should think. Here you should apply your mind. Mind should be applied to things which are good for you, and then decide firmly what is good for you, and then opt for it, and change from the lower taste to the higher taste. Other than the devotee, no one has any information of their superior taste. So see, superior taste, like, you know, wonderful vegetables like bitter gourd and all that, and they're not tasty at all, you know. Most people don't like it. They only like the other vegetables. So we have to develop a taste for it. And only a learned man, a devotee, can know what is good for him, and he will choose a superior taste. So their mind should be applied. Mind's role is very important there. So you should know where to apply your mind, where not to apply your mind, and then bring it under your control. Now, niyama, yuktahara viharasya, yukta chetasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. See, yuktahara viharasya. You should know yuktahara, what is the right food for you. Viharasya, the right recreation for you. What you should do when you have a lot of time. You want to give your mind your body some wonderful time, and in a change, a rejuvenation. Okay. Yukta chetasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya. Yukta chetasya karmasu. To maintain your body, what all should you do? Karmasu. Yukta swapna avabodhasya. Swapnava bodhasya. That is for sleep and wakefulness. Now, how much should you sleep really? Just about 6 hours a day is enough. Now, more than that is actually not good. You should not sleep more than 6 hours. Just enough. Just get up by then. You get up. But still, you want to go back to bed because, you are lazy to get up, or it's so very warm in the bed if it is winter. And if it is summer, you feel it is, you just want to laze. You don't even really sleep. You just keep on turning the sides. It is very bad. When your sleep is over, just get up immediately and start on your work. Actually, it is yukta swapnava bodhasya. That is your sleep and wakefulness. Yogo bhavati dukkha. So these are actually the causes for your, if you control all of these, you are definitely a happy person. Otherwise, they are the cause for your misery. So that is a niyama. Okay, that's what you have to follow properly. And here, outstanding features of a Krishna conscious person. Okay, avyartha kalatvam. These are very interesting and very important tips given to us. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear a pass of a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. 24/7, he wants to be always engaged with the service towards the Lord. He doesn't want to waste even a single moment. The reason is he knows how precious this human life has been given to him. It's such a precious thing Almighty has given him. He should make the best use of it. And we have passed through 84 lakh species and come to this level. After having obtained this, there are certain schools of thought which say that once you become human being, you will never go back into the lower animal life or into any other life. So you keep on evolving. No, that's false. You can't fall down. You can fall down to any extent. You can go back to the lowest animal level. From there again, you have to climb up. Again, the snake and ladder, when the snake, you come to the mouth of the snake, you come down to the first row, back to square number 1, you come. It can happen. It's a game, I think, which teaches us the lesson of life. So that when this life has been given to you, make the best use of it. Take care of every second. The hour will take care of itself. So you have to have that motto in your mind. So as far as eating is concerned, he is habituated to eat only sanctified food in the form of prasadam. So a devotee, actually a Krishna conscious person, eats only prasadam. Then you may ask me, well, should we keep so much prasadam for bhog? That may be a question. You just keep something little for the bhog, is it not? You prepare something dish and then you keep it in a small plate and that's it. And then should you eat only so much? What normally we do is we offer that to the God, and that we mix with the main stuff, then becomes a larger amount of prasadam, whatever it is, maybe rice rasam or could be anything sweet or whatever you have made. And I extend this to a little bit, my thought, I think maybe your thoughts too, but if they agree, fine. What I feel is, before you consume something, could be anything, could be a drink, even water for that matter, or if you are addicted to tea and coffee, or tea and coffee is restricted in ISKCON, we don't drink tea and coffee at all. You only take kashayam or we take milk. Okay, now whatever your body is going to enter your body, you say Krishna, think of Krishna and take it. It becomes prasadam. That's all. In fact, while drinking water also, what you should do is, you have to cover the vessel with your hand and empower the water. You say Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then drink the water. You make it a habit. It's habituated. See, it's habituated to eat. Habituation is very important. Develop the habit, you will do it. So whatever you eat over the course of the day, breakfast or whatever, a fruit or a dry fruit, whatever it is, think of Krishna, it becomes prasadam. So obviously, when you have to think of Krishna and eat, you will never eat obnoxious things. You won't eat junk food. You won't eat pani puri and say Krishna. You will take it. No, you can't offer that. Your mind won't allow you. So you will not eat such stuff. So automatically, that's a very important feature of the Krishna conscious person. Unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. They never sleep more, not more than 6 hours. Why 6 hours? Prabhupada slept for only 2 hours. 2 hours. And Rupa Goswami also for only just 2 hours. And our Haridas Thakur, I showed you yesterday, our Namachar, who chanted 3 lakh times a day. Sometimes he never slept at all. He did not sleep till all his chanting was over. He did not even eat till his chanting was over. And that person was a Muslim. See, I'll come to it later, how our past life, helps us to become what we are now. I will give you a very good example with the Haridas Thakur. So, Srila Rupa Goswami was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day, and sometimes not even that, Rupa Goswami. Thakur Haridas would not even accept prasadam, not even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting with the beads, 3 lakh times. And because he is regulated in all, because he is our Krishna conscious person, regulated in all his work. See, work is regulated. Okay, it's a disciplined life, very disciplined. He's a timetable, like our Srila Prabhupada. He worked such a lot that a timetable, a diary maintained, speech, doesn't speak much. Speak only when spoken to, and speak only sense. And speak, see, silence does not mean you shouldn't speak at all. Silence means speak only the glories of the Lord, okay? And wakefulness, okay? Use all the time of wakefulness and all other bodily activities. There is no material misery for him. If you regulate all these things, your wakefulness also, when you're awake, what you do, it's not, no point in sleeping less and keeping awake and keeping on lazing away your time. That's not the right way. So all these things are taken care by the Krishna conscious person, okay? And this is of the child. So what they say is, since certain things are mentioned, very delicate things are mentioned here about how to maintain yourself, like, abstinence of, sexual life and all that. So that can happen only when you inculcate it in the baby, in the child, in this condition. So our Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, he encouraged Gurukuls. In Gurukuls, before, I think by 5 years, they are admitted there. So they do not know what all those, such feelings are. And so they evolve very successfully in spirituality. One should hold one's body, the same thing. But the child doing it and there was adult doing it, that's all. Now here, are you willing to give this yoga system a try? See, all this is so troublesome, it's being asked to us also. But Arjuna himself says, I cannot do it. And when he cannot do it, obviously a common man would find it a little difficult. It's not that easy. See, compared to chanting all the while and then with concentration, this is definitely cumbersome, definitely difficult. So it's, but your answers could be different. I don't expect the same answer from all of you. It could be individualistic answer. There are 3 images here. This I showed you earlier too. This is Arjuna, who has been told by his Guru Dronacharya to aim at a bird. He told all the 5 brothers, to look at the tree at a distance. Then all of them saw the tree, they saw some fruits and all that. But Arjuna saw a bird on a tree, and not only the bird, the eye of the bird, he focused on that and he shot the arrow. Because that's why he was a great archer, great actually. And here again, the same Arjuna, during Draupadi Swayamvara, the challenge was, there was a fish which was, spinning on the top, and there was a mirror kept here. You had to look at the mirror below, look at the reflection of the fish here, and then aim at the eye of the fish, which he did successfully. That is how our concentration should be. That is how our, focused. Focus is very important. And here all the Pandavas are being led by the Guru Dronacharya. Here, 34th. So, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadhradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayor iva sudushkaram. For the mind is restless, is very restless, very difficult. So like a turbulent wind. Can you control wind? Can you control the blowing wind? So difficult it is. The same way, Krishna says actually that turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Mind and wind, actually, they are actually equally difficult to control. That's what he tells Krishna. Here we see, is a mind a friend or an enemy? That we discussed earlier. When it listens to us, when you're able to conquer the mind, becomes our friend. When you are not able to conquer it, you become its slave. If you make the master, the mind the master, and you become the slave of the master, then you have lost the battle, and it becomes your enemy. Okay, that's how it's been shown here. And here, the easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humility. The method is prescribed as Savai Manah Krishna Padaravindayoho. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna, completely Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagements to agitate the mind. So if your mind is completely filled with Krishna thoughts, Krishna's pastimes, all what to do for Krishna, what book to create, make for him, and then all about always Krishna in your mind, there's no place for anything else there. No other thought can come in. So that's how you can actually control the mind. That's to say, but it's a practice. You have to definitely practice it over time. You will definitely must master it. But this is actually Krishna. That is the highest. You have to attain Krishna. All other yogas are progression towards the destination of it's called the yoga ladder. It's called yoga ladder. They progress towards bhakti yoga. The first is karma yoga. You work, okay? Work in remembrance of Krishna. Jnana Yoga, to acquire knowledge about devotional service. Ashtanga Yoga, we just discussed what it is, all your abstinences and your, do's and don'ts actually. And then Bhakti Yoga. It's nothing but chanting, devotional service, pleading the deity, all doing everything for Krishna. Now, all these lead to Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga is the very easiest yoga, approach to which you can attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any, not much of difficulty. Only thing is, practice is required. You can't just be a showman, or you can just not keep on exhibiting as if you are performing, chanting, and then be thinking of something. It should be very pure. Because I always keep on telling all my devotees, he's a super scanner. Lord Almighty is super scanner. Maybe you don't, maybe none of the X-rays on earth can do such a job. If you are very truthful, he can make out. If you are not at all truthful, even that he can make out. Moderate, even that he can make out. So actually, you can't escape his vision actually. So this is actually yoga spiritual practice. Now, actually, it's a practice. Now here, in this I told you yesterday too. In Sat Yuga, it was actually meditation. And in Treta Yoga, sacrifices. Sat Yuga was very pious sage, very nice people, all good. All that was good was in Sat Yuga. No evil thoughts, all were so loving, caring, caring for each other, praying for each other, helping each other. Wonderful age, it's golden age. But this is a silver age actually, Treta Yuga. Here they had to, so much of goodness was not, deterioration started then, and they took to sacrifices, penances and yajnas and all that. In Dwapar Yuga, it was much worse. People became much more wicked, much more schemy and all that. A lot of all evil things started in Dwapar Yuga. That's why Lord had to appear in the form of Krishna. He had to actually, the deity worship actually started in Dwapar Yuga. And in our Kali Yuga, it is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's again a beautiful image shown here, where if you take the steps and destination is same, you go to the same place. The steps will take you a long time to go up. If you take a elevator, you can go within no time. So Bhakti Yoga is like the elevator. You can go reach the ultimate destination in no time and no not much of strain at all compared to your stairway, which will take longer time and more strenuous. So better to learn getting into Bhakti Yoga. You have to practice it. What is mantra? Mantra. Man is mind. Tra is deliver. So whatever mantra you may utter, Shiva Stotra you may attain, Vishnu Stotra you may attain, anything, Narasimha Stotra or whatever, Lakshmi Stotra, all of these are meant to deliver your mind. If you actually perform very meticulously and properly in the way it should be done, they actually help us to deliver our mind. They are all our medicines for the mind. All mantras are medicines for the mind. Now this is actually our Guru Maharaj. His japa was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay? And here, someone had asked me a question some time back, and I told them, I don't know who it is actually, I forget now. In your, among your devotees, they said in Hare Krishna, where does Radha come? Radha was so close to Krishna. I don't know whose question that was, and I told you that Hare it stands for Radha, and I wanted to give you some evidence for that. This is Radharani. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I asked for that question. This is Sangeeta.
Sangeeta.
Yes.
Okay, fine, Sangeeta. I wanted to show you this. Actually, that's why I plucked this image for you. Okay. Now, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare is the vocative form of Hara. Okay. Another name for Radharani. This Mahamantra is a spiritual call for the Lord and is internal energy. So she is Hara, internal energy. Okay. So she is there in the chanting process to protect the conditioned soul, like the genuine cry of a child for its mother. Okay. I just wanted to share this with you. And of course, this is again the same Sankirtana movement, how Prabhupada, all his disciples went on the streets to with chanting. They don't bother about anyone around. They dance and they chant with all devotion. So that's how it. Now here, there's scriptural. This is really very interesting and very important. See, that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the ultimate for Kali Yuga. Not only that Srila Prabhupada said it, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it, or Namachari did it actually. It has been referred to in many scriptures. Okay, I've got some references for you. Now, in all mantras and all processes for self-realization are compressed into the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Where does it come actually? In the Narada Pancharatra. See, all this, I just plucked a few of them. In many, actually, the references are there. You can read at leisure. Narada Pancharatra is actually one of these scriptures. This is one scripture. Vishnu Purana is another one. And Padma Purana, Uttarakanda. And actually, Brahan Naradiya Purana is also there. And then we have again here this Kalisantarana, I told you, and Bhagavatam is there. So I just quoted a few of them. There are many more. Actually. So in this age, there is no use in meditation. You can't do meditation. You have no time for it, no mental composure for it. First of all, if the minds are fixed enough on your families and between the husband and wife and children and parents, that's enough. I think you can't expect a person to sit in meditation for a long time. That is not possible now. Okay. And sacrifice, as in Treta Yoga, even that is not possible. It's very costly. The ghee is so expensive, and then you have to get all the things wherewithal for it, which is quite difficult to procure and do. And temple worship, even that is becoming a little, hardly people go to temples. They go there only to ask for some material sense gratification. If you want to pass in an examination, they take the hall ticket there and ask the Purohit to keep the hall ticket near the feet of the deity and say, please give it to me after that. Okay? You go there if you're preparing for an interview, you take the interview letter and say, keep it there, and then you want blessings for the interview. All for sense, your material benefits. How many people go there for worship? Very few. And after going there too, I have seen that they keep on gossiping about their families, they keep on talking. See, unlike one thing I like about the churches, they don't talk there. A lot of silence is maintained. But our temples generally, a lot of talking happens. Except our ISKCON, of course, we don't allow it silent. Silence is actually advocated there. But in most of them, they go there for something what they want. You want your daughter to get married, you go there. Or you want the horoscopes to match, take the horoscopes, keep it at the feet, and then get all for your benefit only, nothing. And on a birthday, you go there to just, pay obeisances. But without any motive, or without wanting anything, does anyone go to temples? It's not their mistake. It's the yoga dharma, yoga behavior. You can't help it. So see what it says is, one can achieve perfectness through this Mahamantra chanting. All what you can achieve through all these, sacrifices and then temple worship or meditation can be achieved through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The self-realization which was achieved in the Satya millennium by meditation, in the Treta millennium by different sacrifices, Dwapara by worship to Lord Krishna as deity in the temple can be achieved in the age of Kali simply by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, okay, Mahamantra. Then this has been, where has it been quoted? In Padma Purana, Uttarakanda 72.25, and in Brahan Naradiya Purana 38.97. Bhagavatam also 12.3.52. This message is there. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna. It is feared by the kindly mute, and there's noise happening. Kindly mute your microphones before you make any noise. Who is the request, please? Please don't make noise in the background. It disturbs the whole session. It is feared from the fear personified. See, unconsciously also, if you chant, it's given in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has got very nice pastimes, very nice stories. One of the stories is Ajamila's story. Ajamila is a great devotee actually. But towards the end of what happens, we do not know. He sees a scene in the forest and then he becomes enticed by prostitute. And such a devoted person, he brings her home, has a family with her. And now he becomes old. He has become old. He has all small children by then, that's very bad. What he has done is very, very bad actually. But before that, he was a very pious person. So unconsciously, if you also chant the holy name of Krishna, you are delivered. Example for that is this. Then he's old enough, about to die. And he was fond of his last son. His last son's name was Narayana. So he calls him by name Narayana. He actually wants the little son to come to him. But Krishna thinks it is, and does not think. Krishna knows everything. But incidentally, the son's name and Narayana they're both the Lord's names. So that actually delivered him. When he died, actually the Yamadutas and the Devadutas both came. They wanted to take him away, the Yamadutas. But then the Vishnuduta said, no, you can't take him. He has uttered Narayana name at the end. But Yamaduta said he's committed a lot of mistakes. He has committed a lot of sinful things. And there's a very nice book, ISKCON book called The Second Chance. You can read that book. He was given a second chance and wherever, when the Devadutas come, the Vishnudutas come, Yamadutas have to go away from there. They cannot stay there. That's how it is. They're so very scared of them. So they go away. So he is actually given a second chance to become a better person. So that's a lot of nice stories are in Bhagavatam. Now this is, I give you all the scriptural references. We'll pass on. This is actually, all of these I've referred to in my small presentation there. So here this is actually in Brihadanari, same thing. This I told you yesterday also. Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nastika, Kalau Nastyeva Gatir Anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. It's actually said and down. It's true also, very true. Now we come to, my dear king, this is Bhagavatam it is stated, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. So it's a hope for all of us. Yeah, this is our Srila Prabhupada. This is of sacrifices. It's a very nice shloka from Bhagavad Gita 10 point. We have not yet done it. It will come in the 10th chapter. Maharshi Nam Bhrigur. Krishna says, Maharshi Nam, all in the Rishis, I am Bhrigu Rishi, Bhrigurmani. And then Aham Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam. In the syllables, I am Om. The first and the Om actually. And Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. All the sacrifices, I highlighted only that one because it refers to our present context of sacrifices. I am the chanting of the holy names. It is Japa. I am Japa. Who says this? Krishna says this. And Stavaranam Himalaya. Of all the Stavarana means immovable things which can't be moved. I am the Himalayas. I'm great. So that is what is said here. And then this is actually, this is a very nice shloka from Shishthashtakam. Now, Nam Namakari Bahutani cha Sarva Shaktihi Tatrapita Nyamita Smaranena Kalaha Eta Drishti Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Tutaiva Midrisham Ihachani Nanu Ragaha. It's a Shishthashtakam written by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very nice and beautiful. My Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your holy name, there is all good fortune for the living entity. And therefore, you have many names, such as Krishna and Govinda. You have invested all your potencies in those names. And there are no hard and fast rules for remembering them. I just told you, there are no too many don'ts, and you can even not take a bath and do in the morning, no problem. As far as the heart is, I remember I told you yesterday this too, that in the house, in the kitchen, you have a temple where your deities are actually worshipped. Now, you keep the temple very, very spick and span, very clean. The temple of your body is the heart. Keep your heart very clean, absolutely clean. That's enough. That's enough. God will, if you're clean all over the body and your heart is not pure, all bad thoughts, evil thoughts, all about always contemplating wicked things, then no use. External cleanliness is absolutely of no, that doesn't matter at all. So, you have to keep your heart very clean. That's what is mentioned here. And now, very quickly, this all, most of it, the do's of chanting. I'll just go on telling you. Chant the Panchatattva Mahamantra before it is Hey Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shedvaita Gadadhara, Shivasadi, Gaura Bhaktarinda. Just we chant it before you start the japa. And this is the Panchatattva Mahamantra, I've told you. And the same thing what I just recited. Then this is the, do's, chant audibly. You have to chant loudly, loud enough to hear the mantra. Not too loudly that your neighbors come and say, please stop. That shouldn't happen. But you should utter it your ear should hear it. That's enough. You should be able to hear it. That's very, very important. Okay. Then this is again the same thing. I repeated actually. No, I think I came back. I went back. Yeah. Pronounce each name distinctly. Hare Krishna Rama. Very Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Though you are going to chant fast later, I told you Prabhupada mantra is very fast. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Every syllable is very clear. We can chant even faster than this. I'll give you a slow version. But even then, Krishna, Rama, Hare should be very clearly uttered. It should not be, should not do it in such a hurry that you don't utter properly. Yeah. Chant with respect. I think we passed that. Yeah. Next is, yeah. Then pronounce, that's fine. Yeah. Then chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. Respect for the Mahamantra, to the deity, Almighty. Devotion, 100% devotion. And love, prema for Krishna. Don't do it as a duty. Don't do it because I told you or someone else told you or required for the course. You do it because it's going to help you out in life. It's your life manual, actually elixir for your life. And concentration, that's very important. You have to concentrate and chant. Okay? And you can chant in any place, no problem. Sitting, walking, facing any direction, no problem at all. Then you can chant at any time of the day. No, in fact, Prabhupada chanted, he slept at 10 and got up at 12 in the night. And then he started writing books. From 12 to 4 years to keep writing. Then discourse our would start. Then chanting. In between, nothing but chanting. There's no actually time for chanting. You can chant any time. Okay. However, it is recommended to chant during the early morning. That's called Brahma Muhurta. So start at that time. I don't know what the Brahma Muhurta for him was. He slept at, he got up at 12. The whole day and night was, he was using it. He was actually very busy. So I think for him, it was the whole day was Brahma Muhurta for him. So this is our Prabhupada, how he used to follow. So it's very difficult to follow actually. You can chant either before or after taking a bath. When that is no restriction, you can do it because some cold countries, they cannot take bath in the morning, or you're not well, you can't take a bath. If you have fever, you can't take bath. See, fever, no, you can chant. Not that you shouldn't chant, okay? And if you're not well, all those things, you can, hospital, you can chant, no problem at all. But then, so a lot of flexibility is there. Then it is, you have to keep a count. That's very important. It is recommended to chant by keeping count. You have to add the japamala, and you have to run the fingers on the beads and then count the number of rounds. Okay, very important. Now, what are the don'ts? Very important. You would appreciate yourself. One should not chant only a portion of the Mahamantra. Let's say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, that's not. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Completely have to chant. No, a half syllable, a half sentence and all that. Okay? And this is, one should not chant on the Krishna bead of the Japamala. Never cross the Krishna bead. You have to just turn it, twist it, and then you have to do it. But no, don't cross it. Okay, that's very important. Then this is, one should not chant while reading a book, a newspaper, or watching TV, mobiles. Very bad. You should never do it. You can get a serial. You want to see the serial too? You want to follow the serial at the same time you want to chant. That can't be done. Should never be done like that. Okay, then that's very wrong. Then you see here how with a family you can chant. This benefits of chanting. This side, this is the benefits of chanting. See, when you do congregational chanting, it has a lot of auspiciousness. See, the whole family is sitting, and their instruments are being used. See, you're glorifying the whole chanting. When Tanpura is there, there's a harmonium and there's a mridangam. So Lord gets, you're glorifying his chanting process and the mantra also. So that is definitely very auspicious, and it has got a lot of cumulative value. That is very important. So this is freedom from, you are free of anxiety and stress when you chant. Then you get peace of mind when you chant, and real happiness you feel when you chant. They dance their way chanting, it's really gives a lot of, dancing gives a lot of exercise, and a lot of, all the muscles are stretched and become flexible. The nerves are all, they get a exercise, and you feel totally invigorated. A lot of, you feel actually very energized through, not only enlightened, but also energized through chanting. And this is the 41st mantra. Prapya punya kritam lokan usitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashto abhijayate. So the question of Arjuna was, see, we start yoga, fine. But supposing a person is not able to complete his devotional service in one lifetime, or supposing he starts his service and then he fails to continue it. That's one possibility. Other is, he progresses on to a certain path, to a certain extent, then he suddenly deviates. He gets distracted, he stops. And what will happen to that person in the next lifetime? Okay. Now, what he has done, will it be completely nullified? It will go back to square. I think this I've told you earlier too. Will it go back to square number 1, or does he actually start from there? That I have told you, he starts from where he has stopped. All other educations, your degrees, your MBBS, your engineering, your PhD, your all those things, they are again of no use. In the next life, you have to again start with ABC in the lower KG or the kindergarten. You have to start with that. You can't start off with PhD in the next life. You can't do it, okay? But as far as devotional service is concerned, you start off. A very good example for this is that we have got so many prodigies in our ISKCON, small children, very small children. Even I think Aradhya belongs to one of those actually. They chant so beautifully, They're like our, I would call them prodigies only. Because last, kindly don't make noise. My request, please. Kindly, please, my request. Whoever is making noise, I can't make out because I'm presenting. I cannot go back to the audience gallery. Please, admin, can you see who is making noise and mute them? Admin Prabhu, who is there?
Yes, Mataji, I muted them.
Kindly. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost coming to the end, but then shouldn't get distracted. So what happens in the next lifetime, they get Krishna assures. Now, see, if we have to continue our devotional service, we have to have the ambience. So once we die with whatever half-done devotional service, he assures that they either enter into the higher planets, live a wonderful life there, and of course they have to get reborn, they have to come to Earth. But then when they come here, he assures them of the birth in a very nice family, a devoted family. So I don't mean to say riches by money. Money is not the only richness. I never take money as the yardstick for richness. Richness of heart, richness of culture. In such a nice family, along with aristocracy, see, money is wanted. I don't mean to say money is not wanted, but that is not all in life. Culture is very important. And when the child is born there, automatically from day 1, the baby is nurtured properly. When it's being conceived too, the mother takes all the care that she gives the baby the best ambience, best atmosphere. It grows in like Prahlada Maharaja, goes in the best of the devotional atmospheres and becomes a devoted soul. Okay, so that's what is here. Krishna says they'll take birth in a very rich family, the aristocratic family, and a very devoted family, and continue the services there. Tatratam buddhi samyogam labate paura dehikam yatate cha tato bhuyah samsiddho kuru nandana. Here we see that, on taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness. That is a birth in a very good family of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Kuru. So he will complete. So every lifetime it keeps on happening. Supposing next lifetime he still is incomplete, doesn't do as much. I mean, doesn't complete the whole service, but then is better than the last lifetime. So he's a little bit advanced. He climbs on the ladder. Again, he has to take rebirth definitely, and a little bit. Every birth he becomes a little better, and ultimately realizes the supreme. Okay, now here you see these are all very wonderful. Purvabhyasena te naiva riyate yavaso saha jijnasur api yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. See here, these are all children. See, such small children. They're from Gurukul. The one is playing the mridangam, one on harmonium. Now here, our Guru gives a very wonderful example of Haridas Thakur, was actually a Muslim, but a Muslim who chanted so well, so devotedly, and then he would not even eat, or he would not even sleep without doing his chanting. I think we people may not be so devoted, so much he was. So that means in that past life, he must have been a very devoted soul, and he has elevated, he has actually taken off from there. So by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to yogic principles. They like, they start liking all the chantings, and they're attracted towards the spiritual books. Small children, they like it, even without seeking them. Actually, such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So here scriptures are not required. They don't have to go through all the long process of reading the scriptures and all that. They're empowered with that knowledge, the spiritual stuff in them. So they just take off from that. It's very beautifully shown here by the small children. So that's why Gurukul is very much encouraged by Prabhupada. Prayatnat yatamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishah aneka janma samsiddha tato yati param gatim. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination. So samshuddha kilbishah, all the sinful his past is actually washed off. Then ultimately achieve perfection, and after many, many births. It's not one birth, one lifetime emancipation. It takes aneka janma samsiddha. He actually takes many births of practice. He attains the supreme goal. Tato yati param gatim. He attained the, so he assures it's going to happen. There's no doubt. It's again a very beautiful pastime of Rupa Goswami. He was a great devotee of the Lord, and he was in the forest. Actually, he was writing some scripture. He wanted to offer bhog to Krishna. So when he thinks, see, who could come there and give a bhog to him? It's such a wilderness actually. But then I believe Radharani comes here with some food stuff, and he doesn't know who. He sees a woman coming from a distance. She comes closer, brings some fruit for bhog to the Almighty. He never told her to bring it. That means Radharani is a devotee of, ardent devotee of Krishna. So she hears his, the thought of his mind, and then, she just brings the food for this very wonderful pastime. Many miracles have happened in the past, Yogina api sarvesham mad gatena antara atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and is highest of all. That is my opinion. So here, when you think, when you will something, God will actually provide for that. In particular, I forget the name of the story, but then in a place actually, he even brings all the grocery for the person to cook. Actually, Krishna comes in the form of a messenger to bring all the grocery. All that because he had the mind to cook for the food, but he didn't have the he couldn't the capacity to buy things. So he comes in the form of a messenger, and he says someone has sent him from the village and delivers, and then he vanishes. He's not there at all. So many such miracles have happened in the past. They happen. That's it. And then our last thing is chant and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now I'll just say my final prayer, and then I'll close the recording today without fail, and then you can ask me any number of questions. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Bhakti Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. And you can ask me questions.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall we
Yes.